Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a two-page layout, for the Rosie Studio Creative Club. I am using Brand New Day collection and documenting my sister's maternity photos. So by the time this is uploaded, I think baby girl will be here. So I'm getting very, very excited, trying to work ahead in case I can make it down there. So I chose this collection because I love the florals, and there were some specific pieces in kind of the ephemera that I thought would work really nicely for maternity photos. So I am going to actually end up using 4 different pattern papers on this layout. A little bit busy, but I think the way that I have it laid out helps kind of tone it down a little bit. So I want to do a pattern paper going all the way across the page to kind of house my photos in. And so I decided to use this wood grain. It is probably the least busiest paper that I am using. And so I thought the photos would look really nice kind of going across the page on this wood grain. I did end up having to trim my photos down because in the Rosie Studio collections, you only get one piece of each pattern. So I had to cut it 6 inches if I wanted to utilize it all the way across the page, which meant just trimming my photos down a little bit, which was absolutely fine. And yeah, just so that you could see it. I've done it before where I'm going to cut all this paper and then it ends up being covered completely and it was kind of a waste of paper. So I trimmed them down so that you could see the wood grain kind of all the way across. I am trimming down the paper or the pictures on page 2 as well because there are 3 of them on page 2. And again, it would have gone all the way across, covered up the entire wood grain, and I wanted that to show. So here is paper pattern number 2, kind of smaller floral paper. I am going to go and use this all the way, not all the way, but in the center of my layout at the top and the bottom. I knew that I wanted to do kind of some flags going down the page on either side. You see kind of how I have it set. There's a lot of white space on the left, or the far left, and the far right. So I thought if I could find pattern papers to kind of have flags come all the way down on either side, it would help kind of close off the layout and add some more color and some more pattern. I'm just trying to figure out which patterns to use. Some of the purples are not like the same color. I don't know. I feel like the wood grain almost has like a pink tinge to it, whereas this bow paper is purple. So I did decide to use that kind of as a barrier because I am going to use this floral paper as well. And I didn't want the 2 floral papers right next to each other. So by adding that bow paper, which is kind of a more solid background, I felt like it gave it kind of a good separation. So the kind of layout you can kind of see coming together. I am going to dovetail both of these papers that are going down the page and keep them full length. I believe both of them I'm keeping full length. Sometimes I'll stagger the lengths and whatnot, but I think after I tape this down, I don't think I make you watch the second part, or page 1, I guess, of the taping, because it's going to just be mirrored. These flags will be on the far left, again, kind of closing off the layout, so to speak. So now I just kind of had to figure out where, I guess, exactly to put the wood grain as well. I think I just centered that right across the page, and then I guess I am just going to be using 6 inches. Yeah, here I realize that That's not the one I cut. I didn't want it to go all the way across the page. I think it's 6 inches. So that's kind of how I decided the width of my flags as well. I wanted a gap on the far side, but I knew that I wanted this floral paper to kind of overlap a little bit. So as you can see, with the magic of editing, page 1 is done already, and my photos are all matted. I decided just to matte them in white. I thought the white would help them pop on this purple wood grain paper. And so you can kind of see, I don't think it's too busy. The way I have the patterns separated, I think it's, yeah, pleasing to the eye, I guess, and not too busy. What I decided to do with for my title is use a chipboard frame from the collection. I added acetate to the back of that because I'm going to make a shaker pocket. The collection, I bought the entire collection. They have like a bundle, and that's what I got. And that came with some, I don't know, confetti, or it's not even sequins, so I can't call it sequins. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a shaker pocket. The chipboard frame was the perfect kind of outside. Now I'm adding my thin foam tape that I get off of Amazon to that to give room for the confetti. And then I will dump a bunch of that in there. I think I end up adding too much in the beginning. So I do have to thin that out a little bit because it was a little thick. And I did decide to just use a white cardstock as my background. I really wanted the colors of this confetti to pop. I could have added a pattern paper, but I am also using this as my title. So I will add a title to the front of it, and it's busy enough with this confetti. So adding the white background, 1, makes the colors pop, and then again, 2, makes it a little less busy. So I will just add my white cardstock to the back once I peel all of this up, and the shaker pocket is complete. I kind of was afraid to kind of start shaker pockets in the beginning, but once you kind of have all of the pieces that you need, they really come together pretty easily. From the collection, for my title, I am using this gold foam stickers. It says Bloom and Grow, which I thought was absolutely perfect for maternity photos. And so again, it's hard to see here. I feel like in person and in the close-up photos, you'll be able to see it better. It's a nice kind of multi-font title, and it just fit perfectly in that chipboard frame too. So I will piece that together, and then really embellishing comes together pretty quickly. I don't over embellish. Again, it's super busy with all of the pattern papers, so I don't feel like I need to embellish a lot. But I will add, I think, maybe like 4 clusters, 2 on each page, kind of using that title as a cluster as well. So lots of amazing pieces in this collection, these butterflies being one of them. They're layered. I don't usually do butterflies, but I really thought these were beautiful. I am using some of their, like, I don't know, they're like glitter gems, kind of as, you know, the trail of the butterfly. So that's kind of going to finish the top there. I will add a little bit to the bottom. And while I'm kind of thinking about it and going through all of the pieces, Rosie Studio sent out an email. They're no longer shipping from the China Post or whatever. However, they are still shipping to the US via FedEx. It will take longer, but I believe it's actually a little bit cheaper. But I think on the website it said it would take about a month. So I don't want you to think that they're not shipping to the US at all. They are. It's just going to take longer. And honestly, these products are worth the wait, I think. They've got some great deals too. And I will have a code that you can use. I will link that down below. So you can plug that in and get, I think it's 10% off your order. So with this, back to the layout. At the top cluster, I found a floral piece that I really liked. So just added that with the little phrase sticker that says perfect. And then it's kind of like a little envelope that I tucked under that. Just kind of a more of a plain embellishment up there too, but I did want like that third piece in my cluster. I have the phrase, the big floral, and I wanted that kind of medium-sized cluster. Then going to page 1, another floral cluster, and a little piece of ephemera that grow together kind of love is what that piece says. And I just thought, again, that was the perfect saying for maternity photos. I did think maybe that was a little too busy. There's some flowers on the bottom of that, but it was the perfect saying, and I just decided to go ahead and use that. On the bottom right there, I have a tag, so we can do a little bit of journaling and another flower cluster. And then I'm going through the clusters too and adding butterflies. Butterflies are not something I normally use, but with this layout, I thought they just worked perfectly. And so I decided to use as many as I could on this layout, because I truly don't know what other layout I would use them on. And so then with that, I did end up adding some of the little glitter gems as well to those butterflies, again, kind of their flight pattern or whatnot. And then just kind of seeing what else I could use. And this is where I kind of finished the layout. It says beautiful day, and it was a perfect kind of script. So I added that under the title, and then I'm just going to go through with some of these gold hearts and add them to each of the clusters to finish off this layout. This is such a beautiful collection, and really versatile too, because I have a spread in her baby album that I did for the baby's first Easter. So I did not do a video on that one, but that will be on my Instagram page. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely head over and follow me, She Shed Scrapper, because I do post a few projects there that aren't on my YouTube channel. But again, if you go shopping at Rosie Studio, make sure you use my code to get that percentage off. But I hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.